Hello, 2020 savings plan. It's 52 weeks or 12-month strategy. In 2020, where you had plans and you told God about your plans, and God started laughing. But paradoxical, paradoxical as it may be, this has been a pretty good year for me financially. Like it has been the year where I could actually save. Maybe just those years before I just didn't have the will enough. Maybe didn't have enough drive, I guess. But yeah, for this year I've been saving. So this savings plan for 52 weeks is a plan that I came across some years back. It was really like a 52-week challenge, and it's a pretty simple thing. So for every week that you're on, that's how much money you save. So for like the first week, you save $1. If you're at the 10th week, you save $10 up until 52, where you would save $52. And then at the very end, you should have $1,378. But me, I didn't want to make that many deposits weekly, and I'm not consistent enough. So I adjusted it to do monthly deposits, and I don't even do that consistently. So my deposits are a bit sporadic. But using the great thing that is math, shout out to math, I was able to come up with a simple equation, just basic arithmetic here, to figure out how much I would have to deposit, or how much money I should have saved up at this point, depending on what week it is. And then could also figure out how much to deposit if I haven't been as consistent or whatever uh, towards the whole strategy or a savings plan. So basically, working it out here, you have A, which equals the number of terms slash weeks, and B, which equals the current last term slash week. Oh, and then there's let's do this in time, I guess. So S, we'll have that equal to S will be equal to how much you have saved so far. How much that is saved so far. Mm, yeah, that should be it. Okay, so and the thing is, uh, for the first for the first equation, this A times B divided by two. So this isn't as you'll find it's not as intuitive. It's not like as practical as you would think it is. So, and the reason why that is because you have to start with zero. So theoretically, it works and it can be applied um, quite realistically, but it's not exactly as realistic or practical as life is, because you're not necessarily going to deposit zero, and it's not intuitive to say like my first week is the 0th week. Yeah. So but basically, let's say you start so the first week of like depositing $1. So you have to put the zero as like being there. So it would be the total number would be 2 for A, and then for B, which is the current week that you're on, would be 1. So 2 times 1 divided by 2. I don't think I really have to show that. I mean, that's simple enough. So 2 times 1 divided by 2 equals 1. So that's how much you would have deposited for that week. So let me just show some other math so that you guys can actually see it. Let's say you're on the 5th week, okay? So remember I said A times B. So 5th week, including 0, that means it would be 6. So 6 times 5, which is the current week you're on, and then divide that by 2, which is 15. That that works. Now let's do the second equation so that you can see that also works as well. Again, that you're on. So since we said we're on the 5th week, so 5 times 5 plus 5, all in parentheses because of order of operations, and then you divide by 2. Again, you get 15. So that's two ways to do it. The second equation is more, I think um, it actually isn't just like theory based. It seems more practical because that way you don't have to include 0 technically. But I mean, they both come out to the same thing. So the second part of these equations here, this a times b divided by 2 minus s. So that's basically what I've had to do because I haven't deposited consistently enough. So I'll show you some. Okay, so I use a I use HSBC high yield savings account, which isn't as high yield anymore because of like with the whole COVID, and the federal funds rate has been decreased. So because that's been decreased, the savings APY has also been decreased, like all across of these different like high yield savings accounts. So I think the most you'll find is 1%, but I think there may be, I don't know, credit unions or so that have still a high amount, possibly. But I've just kept my money in here so far. So looking at the deposits, you'll see that I deposited on in February $10. I also deposited $1 just to open this account, so we'll add that in too. In March, that's from taxes, so we'll disregard that amount. And then on this would be May, I deposited $36. Again, like I said, I don't make the deposits consistently enough. And then in May again, I deposited 163, and then in June, at the very end, which is what I'm really supposed to be doing, depositing at the end of every month, I deposited $90. So let's just add that up to see like where I'm at. Okay, so like I said, I had deposited 1 just to open the account. So 1 plus 10 plus what was it, 36? Oh shoot, I totally forgot. Hmm, I'll work backwards. So plus 90 plus was it 163? And I think it was 36. Was it? Let me. Okay, yeah. So it was. That's correct. Hmm. Sometimes I know here. It's ridiculous. So that's $300. So now let's factor that in to see like if I'm at the goal that I'm supposed to be at. Nice. I'm at the goal that I'm supposed to be at for the current weeks that we're on. So $300, right? So let's go actual plan here. So 4 weeks is equal to a month, usually, right? So 4 times whatever month it is. So since we're right now we're in July, so 4 times 7, which would just be 28. So that much saved. Well, actually, we're in July, but it's mid-July. So let's not do that as of right now. Let's just do for June. So we'll do 6 times 4. So 6 times 4, just so you guys know it is 24. All right, cool. So now using the a times b, remember you would do 25 times 24 divided by 2. So 300. So I'm at where I'm supposed to be. Considering, again, I don't make weekly deposits. I try to do it monthly. And let's apply it again by the second equation. So 24, well, let's put the parentheses there first. So 24 times 24 plus 24, and then close parentheses divided by 2. Okay, so 300. So that I feel like I thought I was wrong here about something, but I guess not. Cool. Anyways, yeah, so 300. Now, let's say you weren't making the deposits consistently, which is what is the reason why I've had to make like 163 here, 30 there, 90 there. So, let's say we're on a completely different thing. Let's say we're at the 30th, right? So let's say we're at 30 weeks. So again, since I do mine's monthly, so 6 times 5 is 30. Wait, why am I doing 6 times 5? No, that doesn't work. My mistake. Oops. Um, I guess that could work, but I make monthly deposits. But let's just work that out. So 6 times 5 is 30, and then so now we'll do, since we're at the 30th week, we'll do 30. We'll use the second equation, since it's a bit more intuitive for people. And then plus 30. So now you know you have 930. But let's say you've only saved what is it? What's the last thing we had? 300. So let's use that so that way we're not confused. Or I'm just springing numbers out of nowhere. So let's say we only have $300. So we only have $300 saved. So now we'll be applying this equation here, the b times b plus b, close parentheses, divided by 2 minus s. Or is that technically an expression since I haven't put the what it equals to? I guess. I'm not really good at algebra. So minus 300, so which equals 630. So that's the amount that you would have to deposit so that you're kept on track. And that's basically it. It's And if you're the type of person who can make weekly deposits, there's no problem with that. I mean, it's easier, I would think, if you use your actual bank account and you have maybe a checking and a savings, and then you can just take from the checking and put into the savings if they're like under the same bank. But since I actually have a PNC bank account and I transfer the money to HSBC, I like to do it monthly so I don't have to always make so many deposits. And now, the only thing, like I said, that HSBC, the yield, the APY is like much lower. It used to be around like 2%. I think even, was it 3? Maybe 2 point something when I opened it up. Now it's at 0.70. So that's real low. That's like, I mean, it's not as low as normal banks, but it's still pretty low. So I've been considering possibly taking my money out of there and putting it into Acorn. So I was figuring everybody know what Acorns is, but maybe you don't. And for some of you that don't, listen up. So basically, Acorns is just this app, or you could also just use the website, and they invest in like stocks, like ETFs, different indexes, funds, also bonds, depending on what portfolio you choose to have. uh, that's what they'll invest in, and they do it for you, so you don't really have to you don't really have to do anything besides just make, you could make a deposit into the account, as well as they have this thing called roundups where you link your account debit card or a credit card, and it usually just rounds up to the nearest dollar, but you can change that as well. So let's say you buy something for $1.75, it'll give 25 cents to be put into your Acorns. And then they also have where you can, if you buy something off of the platform via the found money option, like I bought a Hulu subscription, so they deposited $5. This comes from like Hulu. They deposit $5 into your Acorns account, due to the fact that you bought it from the Acorns platform. So I mean that like really helps. Oh, also, they Okay, yeah, here. So for like this month in July, they're doing invite five friends, you earn $500. So for five people that you invite, and usually it's a $5 referral bonus anyways. For every person you get $5. But they'll do this like special thing where if you invite so many amount of people, they'll deposit this amount into your Acorns account. So probably gonna link that into the description, because hey. So but back to the savings plan. It says, I mean, it's been an interesting, strange year, uh, because of the fact that I'm actually able to save in this environment. But yeah, so I hope it works for a lot of you. It's really, it's really simple. It's not like hard, as I'm not even really good with algebra, and this is some simple stuff that I came up with to like help anyone who isn't as consistent like I am in like saving the money. So I really do hope that some of you guys use it, and if you want, you can even we can even like chat about like where we're at during the thing. I mean, I'm like much further along. I should have probably did this at the beginning of the year, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. And like my mom always told me, every drop is a bucket full, so it doesn't matter like where you start. If you start now, yeah, just I mean, it's still 52 weeks, and then you'll be done by June or so. Yeah, so it's really good, and I hope you guys find it to be worth doing as well. Remember, at the end, it's 1,378. So good luck with everything, and thanks for watching.